106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Right, guys and girls, something a bit different this time. Told you we had something a bit different, and here it is. It's a genuine New York City cop car, or at least it was. It's obviously been decommissioned now. Anyway, you can see all around it. There's wee kind of clues to its history, really. So we've got like holes in the bumper and stuff like that, for where it's had its bull bars for doing like pit manoeuvres or something like that, or maybe even chasing Bruce Willis through an American shopping mall or something. You just don't know, do you? It's got like cutouts and stuff, like on the doors and things like that, where they've had wires and things running. I've got the bit cut out of here for the crest. There's sort of police crest that goes on there. The bloke actually said he's got something to go on there as well, so that'll be pretty cool. Basically, he bought the car about 10 years ago, brought it into the country, had it imported, and he's never really done much with it. So it's just sort of sat about, and he's decided that enough time's gone past now and he wants to actually kind of get it on the road, which he's done. So he's brought it here to be cleaned anyway. As you can see, look at this. This is where there's sirens and stuff would have been on the roof. Pretty cool. And then you get inside, I mean look, you can see it's been lying a long time, hasn't it? It's loads of sort of built up grime and stuff like that. And then you go on the inside, so you've got your sort of vomit proof carpet. Well, it's not really carpet, it's just sort of plastic sheeting type stuff. And it's easy if somebody's like spews in the back, or you get a blood spill or something, like just give it a quick wipe. You know what I mean? You can get back on with the job. Nothing to slow them down really. We've got like a fire suppression system here. Look, I'm just going to leave that alone. I don't want to end up covered in fire suppressant stuff. Look at this. If we want to write somebody up, it's night. Put your big light on and write them out a ticket. Something unusual in this country, it's a column gear shift for the auto box, I think. Is that do you call it a 3 on the tree or something like that? Or that might be the manual, I don't know. Obviously it's left-hand drive, which is a bit different. Being the police spec as well is very, very basic in here. What's that say there? Warning, to reduce the risk of possible serious injury or death, align and mount hard or sharp police equipment in trunk laterally. For details, see owner's guide. So they actually have to give the police that work there a wee warning not to leave anything lying about the car, because they might get hurt. In the back, we've got white clean seats and stuff like that. I tell you what, Bet could tell you a few stories in the back of this thing, couldn't it? Got some mould and stuff on the seats, so that will need cleaned. Generally the seats are actually pretty clean. I dare say they clean the insides of them out quite a lot, because you'll get a lot of like drug users and stuff like that in these things, and I suppose you don't want your seats smelling like crack. I meant crack is in the drug there, no arse crack. But nobody likes the seats smelling of arse crack either. Jesus Christ. The wheels, they've been black with silver trim in the middle, so we maybe try and see. I'll message the guy and see if we can maybe get a bit of black paint on them just to tidy them up a bit. The bodywork, the paint on it is extremely gritty. I don't know if you can hear that. And it's dull, so it will need a right good polish up. In here, in the boot, let's have a look at it. You can see more crud there, look at that. Just look at it. Oh, police interceptor, how cool is that? Let's have a look in the back. Oh wait, this button here is for the boot release, which I'll press it, watch this. I don't know why, but I love that. I know loads of cars do stuff like that nowadays, but it's still cool. Up the sides you can just see a bit of filth, and then look at the size of this. I mean, you see all these films, don't you, in America, where people are sort of in the boot and stuff, and you always think, hey, right, there's no way they get two of them in the boot, but it is. I mean, this thing, it's huge in there, and you've got that full boot, and then you've got a full size spare wheel on that sort of shelf there. It's crazy. So loads of room to keep your donuts, or if you stumble across like a dead body or something like that, or if you kneel on some poor guy's neck for a couple of minutes too long, you need something to do with him, don't you? So get that shut. Anyway, I think we'll just crack on with it, and try and get it some looking a bit shinier, a bit more fitting of a police car. Look at that, just look at that there. Pretty grim, that really, isn't it? Anyway, guys and girls, let's get this cop car looking sharp.
I don't even know what to get in your head. Seeking your attention, but simple instead. Cause I hope you look my way, but no, you didn't even see me gaze yesterday. Feeling every day like I'm going insane. Cause you and I are something I wish for every day. So I hope you look my way, but yeah, you didn't even see me gaze yesterday. Cause I know I am nobody to ya, and it feels just like you want me to go now. But I hope you slow it down, hope you slow it down. Cause what I really need is your time. So will you like me like that? Just like that. Like me like that. Just like that. Like me like that. Like me like that. Just like that. Like me like that. Like me like that. I don't even know what to get in your head. Seeking your attention, but simple instead. Cause I hope you look my way, but no, you didn't even see me gaze yesterday. Feeling every day like I'm going insane. Cause you and I are something I wish for every day. So I hope you look my way, but yeah, you didn't even see me gaze yesterday. Cause I know I am nobody to ya, and it feels just like you want me to go now. But I hope you slow it down, hope you slow it down. Cause what I really need is your time. So will you like me like that? Just like that. Like me like that. Just like that. Like me like that. Oh, really like that. Just like that. Just like that. Like me like that. Like me like that. Just like that. Slow it down. Oh. Cause I know I am nobody to ya. It feels just like you want me to go now. But I hope you slow it down. Hope you slow it down. Cause what I really need is your time. So will you like me like that? Will you like me like that? Just like that. Just like that. Like me like that.
It's got cop tires, cop suspension, cop shocks. It's a model made before catalytic converters, so it'll run good on regular gas. What do you say? Is it the new Bluesmobile or what? Fix the cigarette lighter.
Jesus, look at the size of the cup holders and it's like a drawer for your cup holders. Not just a cup holder, it's got look at that, massive. Then you've got your ashtray and your wee sort of thing for your lighting your Cuban cigars on and stuff like that. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I don't think my underwear drawer's as big as that. So right, guys and girls, we've got the car inside, and never has my unit felt so small. This thing just seems to absorb all the space. It is massive. As a sort of idea, I know it's hard to get an idea on camera, But this box here, so this grey box on the floor, when I was putting that in, I used a Range Rover. So that was where the Range Rover ended, okay? And that was the front of the Range Rover. So we've got a good foot at the front, at least a foot at the front, and another, easily another foot at the back as well, maybe more. This thing, it's so long, it's unbelievable. Anyway, paintwork wise, it's actually a lot better than you would think for a car. I mean, usually when I get ex-police cars in here for this country, they're all battered and the paint's all bruised and what have you. But this one, it's not too bad. Paintwork's up. I mean, it's gritty like we touched on in the beginning, so it does need a good clay bar, and it is dull. It's never seen, I don't think it's ever had a coat of wax on it. But condition wise, actually, it's not too bad. I mean, we've got some sort of marks here where people have opened their doors onto it, and there's been a repair done on this back door at some point, because you can see where they've sort of hazed it. You can see the line, they've just repaired up to there. I don't know why they've done that. They should just have went up to the top of the door, but it's typical of the police no matter what country you're in, I think. But they've sort of rubbed through the paintwork there as well, so that's about the only bad bit on it really. There is some scratching on the bonnet and the boot lid and stuff like that, but nothing too deep really. I mean, yeah, apart from it being really dull, I don't know if you can just sort of see it on the top of the bumper there. You can see just how dull it is. We've got Moose in today, haven't we, Moose? What's going on? What's it? Moose has seen something, he's got that sort of ready to pounce look about him, but he knows he's not to go any further than that. Anyway, some more scratches here. So overall, apart from this bit here, obviously, where they've just decided they've probably ran somebody down or something like that, you know, a bad guy, or rammed somebody off their motorbike or whatever, I don't know. But apart from that, those few little bits, I mean, it's in pretty good condition. I mean, there's a lot of normal cars that come in here that are in worse condition than this, that's for sure. Certainly not ex-police cars. Anyway, let's get it polished up and looking a bit better. Right guys and girls, so what I'm doing here is, I'm just using a clay bar to get rid of that grittiness we spoke of earlier on the paint. It's basically contamination that's stuck onto the paint, and what this does is the clay bar, I mean, I don't even know what it's made of actually. I don't think it's made of clay, that's for sure. But it's almost like blue tack in consistency. And as you can see there, it's picking up quite a lot of dirt. So what happens is, as you rub this over the top, it's very mildly abrasive. And the stuff, the sort of contaminants and stuff, they come off and they get stuck in the clay bar. So you can see that it's quite dirty there, right? Because I've just done this patch. So all you do is, once it starts to get dirty, you just turn it over a few times, get a sort of cleaner bit, and away you go and do your next sort of, do it in squares almost. So you just go up, down, up, down, up, down, but and then across the way, and you'll know when it's time to stop, because when you first start, there'll be a lot of resistance on it as it drags across, and when it starts to sort of glide across, that's when you know your paintwork's clean. So we'll just crack on with this, and we'll get this paintwork nice and clean, and then it's ready to machine polish. Sometimes you do get a little bit of sort of residue left over from the clay bar on the paintwork, but a little wipe over with a damp cloth and it soon comes off. Easy peasy. Right, so you want some water, son? Or you want some food? Food. Well, guys and girls, or dudes and dudettes as the case may be in America, that's this one done, and I think the guy that owns it will be pretty happy with it. The thing I liked about this car was, I mean, the bloke that owns it, he imported it from America himself, straight from the police auction, and he'd only done a handful of miles in it, and it was still very much like in the same condition it was when he got it. It was like stepping into a current police car. It still had all the sort of the workhorse dirt around, as you say. It still got the holes cut out from when it was a police car. It still got the holes in the roof and the lights on the interior and the fire suppression system. A lot of them, ex-police cars, especially in this country, they get bought out of the auction and they get sort of reverted back to standard and then sold on. So all of this kind of stuff here would have been repaired and the roof would have been repaired, but that isn't the case here. It is still very much, it's a survivor car really, isn't it? The dashboard is cleaned up nicely. We did put some shine on it. I know not all of you like that, but I've went over it with a cloth and just sort of dulled it down a bit so we've got a nice sort of satin sheen on it. Seats are nice and clean. It wasn't terrible in here, was it? The floor was pretty dirty, but being plastic, a real good scrub and it's came up like new. It's pretty good actually. I'm quite happy with it in here. I mean, if you look hard enough and stuff, I'd like to have got the seats out of it, but it was too risky with these. The bolts in it were seized apparently according to the owner, so we didn't bother taking those out. But the access was pretty good, so it wasn't too bad. On the outside, I think it's good on the outside. There's very few signs of sort of accident damage and stuff like that, which is not normally. They're really, really rough. And also, especially, I don't know about America, but over in this country, when they take the stickers off of police cars, like the chevron stickers they put up the sides of them and stuff, it's like they use blades to take them off, and the paintwork is always badly gouged. They just wreck the paintwork taking the stickers off of them, but there's none of that here. It's pretty good. Obviously you've got the cutout where the sort of police department roundel or sticker or thing's been, but that, I think the owner's got something to go there. And there is little scratches here and there that are just a little bit too deep. I could have probably got some of them out actually, but upon inspection, the paintwork, the actual thickness, the paint depth is very thin, so I didn't want to buff too hard on it. As I say, somebody's already done a little repair on the other door and they've actually buffed through on a little bit like I pointed out at the beginning, so I didn't want to make that mistake myself. The only real marks or sort of damage worth noting on the car actually is there's a sort of mark here on the front bumper. Obviously these are the cutouts where the sort of bull bars would have been for running down bad guys and stuff like that. But I don't know, maybe the owner will decide to put another set of bull bars on it, who knows, time will tell. Little mark here, but as again, it's not too bad. Round the back of it, again, it's pretty good. There is a few sort of deeper scratches on the top of the boot lid. I'm sure there's probably been a few like ladies of the night bent over the back of this car, getting their handcuffs done obviously, and maybe this has been their nose rings or something scratching it. I just don't know, or I don't know, maybe that's just been where they've been throwing their guns down, who knows. But apart from these little marks on the top of the boot and that little sort of bit on the front bumper, the bodywork on it, considering the car's history, is really quite good, I think. So guys and girls, and on that bombshell, as Jeremy Clarkson would say, the car is now finished and ready to go back to its owner. The only thing that's really ready to do now, left to do now, is ask him a little question. And in this video I thought, seeing as we're on the sort of subject of cop cars, police cars, I thought I would ask you what your favourite sort of police car detective type movie is, or series. Netflix, Amazon Prime, whatever. Let me know in the comments below, guys and girls. My personal favourite is, well, I'm a sucker for sort of 80s, sort of early 90s films. I love sort of Lethal Weapon and stuff like that. I also like Beverly Hills Cop, bit of comedy thrown into that one as well, so that's pretty good. And the original Bad Boys movie as well, just for that black Porsche 911 that's in it. What a fantastic car, I love that. So guys and girls, remember, if you haven't already subscribed, click subscribe, but more importantly than that, if you've liked the video, or even if you haven't actually, if you would just do me a massive favour and click the like button, because it seems to get the videos promoted more on YouTube or shared more on YouTube. The more likes, the more shares it seems to get. And that's what it's all about for me, is just sort of promoting my business really. So if you could get the video out there a bit, help us out, that'd be fantastic. Comment below guys and girls about your favourite film. Also, any tips or anything like that you've got for me, I'm always open to suggestions. And I do read all the comments, even if I don't respond to them all. I just simply can't respond to them all, but I do sit in my bed at night and I read them all. Thanks very much for watching guys and girls. I'll see you in the next one.